Hello, hi guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome. I am so happy. I am so glad to be doing this again with you. You know, guys, it really makes me vibrate high when I just sit here to talk to you. All right. So I really vibrate high anytime I'm seated here just to talk to you about any topic that I have. All right. So I'm so glad to be doing this again with you. And my name is Mary. If you're new to this channel, please welcome to this family. This is the best family that you can ever have. In this family, we teach and learn from one another how to be better social beings and just being happy and loving ourselves while at it. Okay? Yeah. So welcome to the family. Stick to the end, subscribe, comment, like, and share my videos. Share my videos, guys. Share my videos. All right. Okay. Now, before I talk about the topic I have prepared for you today, as usual, I want to leave you with a quote, something to think about, all right? Something to think about. And the something to think about here is, and the quote goes like, not really actually like a quote, but like an advice. And this advice is as follows. Um, you are the only person, you are the only person who can break the cycle in your family. We all have different cycles in our families. You know the cycle in your family. You know that one thing that is so negative, that is always something that people can notice from your family, or there's this thing that normally happens to you, or there's this character in your family members that is actually something that makes you not really happy about maybe your life or about how things go by, and you can break that cycle. It could be cycle to do with money, whereby you get a lot of money but do not know how to keep it, and maybe it's a thing in your family. Be the first one to break it. It might be poverty that keeps on attacking your family. Okay, maybe you grew up in a state of poverty when you're growing up in your family. Be the first one to break that cycle. So be the first to break the cycle in your family. Believe it, do it, and stand on it. Okay, stand on it. You can be, and you will. If you believe it, you will be the first one to break the cycles in your family. It doesn't matter if you are the firstborn, second, third, lastborn. It doesn't matter. If you mean it, you will do it. So yeah, you can be the first, if you mean it, to break the cycle in your family. Okay, that cycle that you always feel like, oh, I wish this never happened, or I wish, you know, this never happened to my family, or I just feel like this thing keeps on coming to us no matter how good we try to be or how different we try to be. It just keeps on following us. Yeah, so that bad cycle, you can be the first one to break it if you believe it, and if you mean it, and if you stand on it. Yeah, so think about it, okay? All right, I know that was the longest quote I've ever given, but yeah, I hope you get the point. Now, today I want to talk about hypersexuality. In other terms, sex addiction. Hypersexuality. So hypersexuality is just, having intense focus on sexual fantasies or urges and even activities. And what do I mean by this? You just have an intense focus on sexual fantasies, you have intense urge, and then you engage in those activities, the sexual activities, and I want you to underline the fact that you cannot control it, okay? So the fact that you cannot control all those fantasies, urges, and activities that pertain sex, it automatically means that you are hypersexual. You are hypersexual. So hypersexuality just is all about you having intense focus. You know, underline the word intense. So intense focus on sexual fantasies, urges, and just sexual activities. And also underline the word control. You cannot be controlled or you cannot control it. So we call that hypersexuality, or you are hypersexual, okay? Or you are addicted to sex, okay? Yeah. So what causes this hypersexuality? What causes hypersexuality? There is a vast research about it. There is the scientific part. I think most of it is scientific, all right? Yeah, and the there's so many causes. There's not so many causes, but there are a number of causes that leads to hypersexuality. But the most, can I say the most common one is that causes hypersexuality. The most common cause, okay, there are a number, yes, like I've said, but the most common cause that I know, which are two, that causes hypersexuality is one, past experiences. So if you come from, okay, let me not say if you come from. So if a child grows in a dysfunctional family, one, or has experienced, or during the childhood he or she experienced physical abuse or sexual abuse during their childhood, then this child might grow up to be hypersexual, okay? So coming from a dysfunctional family can be one of the causes. Being sexually abused in their childhood, being physically abused in their childhood. Most of the time, this child turns out to be very much hypersexual. Then another major one, because I said there are a number, but the most important, the two most common, not important, but the two common are the first one, the past experiences, and also we have imbalance in mood chemicals. Imbalance in mood chemicals. You know, this actually is believed to lead to sexual activities that cannot be controlled. That is hypersexuality. Now, sometimes you see someone, let me give you an example of, you know, a hypothetical example, and I'll give an example such as someone is sad, and when this person is sad, the only thing that can make them feel themselves again is sex. So they go hunt for it. They can hunt for, and in hunting for it, they are not into what are their, you know, what their type of people, like if they really mean in it. The one who is available will give it to them, okay? So sadness. And then we have the opposite. When one is too excited, what do? They now go ahead and do what? Hunt down, you know, for that for that urge of having sex, okay? So that is imbalance of mood chemicals. So, you know, and you find that these people, for the ones who are sad, anytime they are stressed, the only thing that can bring them back to the good moods is sex, okay? And then the other one, the moment they are too hyper, or they are too happy, or taken something into their system like alcohol, that's the time they really want to engage. All right, so those are the two, you know, causes of what? Of hypersexuality that I find to be most common. There are others, but those are the most common causes of hypersexuality. That is past experiences, and also imbalances in mood chemicals, whereby anytime one is sad, wants to have sex. Another one, when they are too excited or some alcohol is in their system, the thing they want to have is sex, okay? Yeah, so those are the two causes. And then how does it affect someone, or how does it affect one? How does being hypersexual affect you as a person if you're in that situation, or how does it affect someone who is hypersexual? One way it affects someone who is hypersexual, am I really making sense? Yeah. How does hypersexual affect one? So hypersexual affects one in this sense. One, they start having feelings of guilt, feelings of shame, and even low esteem. They start feeling guilty. Do you know why? Because they cannot control themselves. It's like every time they feel the urge to participate in sexual activities, and the saddest part of it is that maybe they don't even take time to select, observe, and know if you know, whatever they are hunting down favors them. Is it something that they can go with for the longest, you know? So these are people who most of the time they'll engage in what we call one night stands. They won't choose their partners. They just want to get over with the feeling. So after they're done with all those sexual activities with strangers and all that and what have you, they'll always be left with guilt. They feel a lot of shame and even low self-esteem. Do you know why low self-esteem comes in? Because they're not able to make or to choose the right person for themselves. For them, it was about to calm down their sexual urges. So that is why they end up feeling guilty. Another way it affects someone is they start experiencing some mental conditions, you know, mental conditions such as having depression, having distress, having anxiety. That is before or right after, okay? So right before, they'll start experiencing some sort of anxiety, some sort of, you know, distress, and even after, because of the actions they have done and the fact that maybe their urges are running them too fast than how they're, you know, they know it's not right, but because it's something they cannot control, they keep on finding themselves in the same corner, same place, same situation, okay? So it makes them develop mental conditions of just being so much depressed each and every time, so much distressed, and even just having unnecessary anxiety, okay? Now, how does it show up? They have slept with someone, maybe they are having some thoughts in their mind. Okay, how did this person view me? Okay, did I end up catching some disease, you know? So all that causes the distress, causes the depression and anxiety. All right, okay. How does it again affect one? How does being hypersexual affect someone? Now, the other way that it can affect someone is these people will start neglecting, lying to their partners and even their family. These people can actually destroy most important relationships to them. So they start lying to both their partners, if there is a partner, or even their family, okay? You know, it's because they engage so much in the sexual activities that they need to explain themselves over and over to make themselves look clean, okay? Sometimes even when they are not questioned, even when a statement has been thrown to do with, you know, sexual activities, they take it very much negatively and very much personally, because it is something they do it and they cannot help it, they cannot change it, they are already destroyed. So what normally happens is that they'll start neglecting their partners. Do you know why they neglect their partners? It's simply because they're giving themselves out there. So because they're giving themselves out there too much, then they'll start neglecting their partner. And because maybe their partner will start questioning, that is when they will start to lie and lie and lie until there's no more lying. And now that ends up destroying both the relationship and the family, okay? So if they had a family, gets destroyed. If they were in a relationship, the relationship gets destroyed because they were engaging too much with different people. They lied over and over, and it came to a time whereby the lying was not making sense, and they've been caught up in in all that situation, and all they can do is just to destroy the relationship that was there or the family that was there. So that way you can see how much of an effect it has caused to them. All right, okay. Another way it can also affect one is financial problems. Financial problems. How does financial problems come in when in someone who is hypersexual? So financial problems start coming in because they keep investing in the new catches. They keep investing in the new catches. They hunt down new sexual partners, and every time they are hunting down new sexual partners, there's a financial investment they are making in it. So they, you know, a new catch today, financial investment has been done to that to wherever, to that situation. A new catch the next day, the next coming week, months, year. By the time the year is done, there are several new catches, new partners that have been invested into by this individual. So at the end of the day, this individual will start having financial problems because he or she has been investing his or her finance in the new catch. Remember, we are talking about someone who is very much hypersexual, someone who is really addicted to sex. Okay? All right. Another thing is catching diseases like HIV and hepatitis. And it's very easy for such a person to catch such a disease because they've they have actually, you know, like, cemented it in their mind that what they're doing is the right thing. And they have been doing it until it has become a very normal thing, and because it has become a very normal thing, they keep on trusting new people in their life whom they are participating with, they're participating in with, okay, those acts. So they keep on trusting new people in their life one by one because it is something they have done over and over. They are so much used to it that it becomes like food to them, that anytime they get a new partner, it's not a big deal. So they even forget about protecting themselves and such things. And because they forget about protection and all that, they end up now catching diseases that they should not have caught if only they could have controlled themselves. So they end up maybe having HIV and AIDS or hepatitis, yeah, depending on, yeah, okay, the person they have engaged with. So that is another effect of just being hypersexual. I mean, I'll just get to that before I say what I wanted to say. Another way is that these sexual addicts, they actually have, most of them have problems with drugs and alcohol. Look, there's a disclaimer here. I'm not saying that all those who drink alcohol are hypersexual. That is not what I mean. What I mean here is that most of these people who are hypersexual are addicts. They are also addicts to alcohol and what? And drugs. Yeah. Remember the earlier the point I talked about, you know, them just having, as one of the causes, them having imbalanced chemicals where they're too excited or can be too sad. So you'll find that when they are when they are too excited and they go add alcohol system to their, wherever, alcohol to their system, sorry, when they go add alcohol to their system, these people end up being so excited and looking for that dopamine in someone, and they go engage in those sexual activities. So what do I mean here? That the hypersexual person tends to become addictive to even drugs and alcohol. I don't know, but the research I've made about people who are addicted to sex and drugs is that they are also very hypersexual. I don't know how the three are connected, but I guess it's because of the imbalanced, you know, hormonal chemicals in their system that makes them, yeah. But like I've said, disclaimer, not everyone. There are those who love drinking, but they're just okay. They're not sexual addicts. Lastly, these people are easily arrested. They are easily arrested for sexual offenses, okay? Someone is so hypersexual to the extent that when they miss a catch that day, they might get, I told you, they don't have time to choose. They don't have time to observe, time to know they can go with, what is their likes, what is not their likes. As long as their urges have been calm down, that is what matters to them. So they don't care about whom they meet. They don't care how that person looks. All they care about is their sexual urges. So what happens if this person is not getting what they want? Okay? What happens when this person does not get what they want? What happens to this person is that this person will end up even having sexual malpractice like rape and all that. So you get that these hypersexual people, they are easily arrested. They get arrested because of sexual offenses. So those are the effects, or how one can be affected when they are hypersexual. And I just want to say that this thing can be treated. Being hypersexual is a disorder, by the way. It's a psychological disorder. So that means it is a disease that you need to, if if you happen to be one of them, you need to look for treatment. And one of the ways you can treat it is just medication can do it. Okay, you'll be given medication to help you out. You can go through psychotherapy. Yeah, you can go through psychotherapy to help you, get back to normal sexual urges. And also you can have the self-help groups whereby you meet with people like you, people who want to change or something of that sort, or just people who are there to counsel you, to help you walk through the journey so that you become normal and not become a hypersexual person, because it has very many negative effects. I've just given a few, but there are very many disadvantages that come along with being hypersexual or being a sex addict. Okay, yeah. All right, so that marks the end of this video. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you've benefited from it. If you have any questions concerning hypersexuality, you can ask. I know I've talked about hypersexuality, but there are things maybe I've not mentioned about, or there are things you need to know or clarify. Feel free, you can comment and ask that question. You can inbox, whichever way you want. Okay, so I'm always here for you. Those social issues are what I like handling and talking about. Yeah, and we are just teaching each other, learning from one another. As much as I'm teaching you, I'm also learning. That's the best part about it, and I think that is why I'm always so much high. Okay, when doing these, like I vibrate so high, like you just don't know. I vibrate so high whenever I'm doing this thing. It's just my thing, and I hope I'm benefiting you. And as you keep on growing together in this channel, better and better things are gonna come. We're gonna learn about so many social psychology topics. We are going to learn about so much. We're going to discover so much about ourselves, and yeah, that is what life is all about. When you get to know yourself better, when you get to understand where you've gone wrong and where you need to correct. I mean, even if you're a hypersexual person, there's nothing wrong you've done. This is just something to do with psychology. And as I've told you, this is just all about maybe how you are raised up. Maybe there was a lot of abuse, and then that is the only way you could find pleasure in. As you grow up, you find yourself being addicted to it. Yeah, you didn't bring that to yourself. This is all psychology. Or maybe it's about the imbalance in your hormones, the chemical imbalance in your body, that can be brought about by the foods we eat, especially those who love eating junk foods. Yeah, one secret I'll tell you is that stick to native foods. If you can stick to native foods, the better. These junk foods that feel like you are in the high society class because you're eating them, man, those things are destroying your body, both health-wise and even just sexually. Appreciate the native foods. Yeah, the sweet potatoes. Yeah, those kinds of food, the vegetables, the fruits. Invest in such foods. Yeah, don't just be a person who is into burgers, pizzas, or all those you know fast foods that you run to can damage you, okay, both sexually and even health-wise. Yeah, so that's it, and thank you so much for listening. And that's a bye. Have it the best and in the most fabulous way wherever you are, whether it's daytime, evening, lunch, or morning. Enjoy and have it in the best fabulous way. All right, so that's a bye, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.